Hey friends, happy day 2 of Advent, last day of November. It's pretty crazy. We're diving right into this holiday Advent season. So for day 2, we're going to kind of pick up right where we left off yesterday. We were talking about just the concept of home and the notion that in our faith, in the presence of God, we are most at home. For we are most at home when we are most loved. And there's no greater love than the love that we find through our faith in the arms of our loving Father. And we see that love most clearly in the greatest gift that the Father gives, which is his Son, our Lord Jesus Christ. So that's kind of the summary from yesterday, that we are journeying home. The whole story of our lives, the story of the Christian life, the story of our lives here on earth is this journey home. But the crazy notion of our faith, and this is what's so beautiful about Christianity, is that we understand that home, in a sense, is journeying towards us. It's pretty radical, but it's not like, we're sitting out after Christ and he's, just kind of waiting there patiently and kind of bidding us to come. He is, but he's drawing us near, but he's seeking after us. It's not just us who are homesick and have this sense of, man, I want that belonging, that sense of love that I feel like I'm made for, and us seeking this out and trying to journey towards God. God is infinitely more seeking after us and coming to us. Home is coming here. Christ literally comes to us. And this is the whole point of the Advent season. Advent comes from the Latin word adventus. Go back to our grammar school days. Adventus in Latin is coming, arrival, a sense of an ushering in. The Romans would use this when a new Caesar came to power, or a new kingdom was being ushered in. It was something totally brand new. It was an arrival of the king, an arrival of the kingdom, something totally new and distinct. The advent of Caesar Augustus, the advent of Nero. Even in our lives today, we can understand this like in a family, if a new child is born, the advent of a new baby into the family, a new child into the family. This is totally new and distinct for the family, something totally new life, new joy, new love, this sense of ushering in. And this is what we are looking forward to with eager anticipation in this season. That Christ doesn't just show up on the scene 2,000 years ago, live life, and then move on. He was a great spiritual teacher and he gave us some cool things and he taught us some cool lessons, and that's it. It's something so radically different than that. It's the advent of our God here and now. Christ comes every single moment of every single day because he is totally present. He is here, he is now. He came in a very definitive way 2,000 years ago so that we can now share in his life. And in so doing, we can receive him every moment of every single day. That we don't have to wait. We can be present with him right here and right now. But this season, we are called to wait in a different way to receive Him anew. That this is an Advent time, that we want to open our hearts more than ever so that He can come even more into our lives. See, it's not an Advent like a chronological sense, but it's more of an Advent as He steps more and more and more into my life. That he is kind of born anew. We think of, on Christmas Day, Christ is born in my heart. That's so beautiful. But it speaks to the sense that God is arriving more and more and more into my life. And if we think about this, this totally reigns true. We crave an infinite love. We crave infinite happiness. When's the last time you were infinitely happy? You weren't. You were happy, but you were not infinitely happy. If you were infinitely happy, you'd be in heaven. We're not quite there yet. We crave this infinite, eternal happiness and love and belonging and union with our God. And this is happening constantly every day of our lives. This is the story of our lives. And particularly now during the Advent season, we're called to be attentive to that. How can I prepare my heart for the arrival of Christ more and more and more into my life? That he can open up new vistas, new horizons into my life. I can experience a greater joy, a greater life, a greater love. And that's why I think the analogy of a child into a family is so beautiful, because you're experiencing a brand new presence. that you've never experienced before, or a relationship for that matter. If you enter into a romantic relationship for the first time, it's like, I mean, your world just opens wide before you, right? This whole new sense of, wow, my heart, I'm in love, and this sense of the world opening up before you, totally new, totally distinct. There's no greater sense of that than when Christ enters into our lives. So that's the challenge, that's the encouragement, that's the reflection. Advent, Adventus, arrival, the coming of Christ more and more into our lives. Let us prepare our hearts for that coming of Christ here today, every day, and particularly as we enter into the season and head toward Christmas. God bless you guys. See you soon.